Due to many of the issues that have been displayed across the media and throughout the school systems and just in the public in general, I decided to do my report on police relations with minorities. Minority and majority relationships are influenced not only by political views but cultural issues also. And some of these issues would be the language barriers, different religions. They have different values, different beliefs, different moral perceptions. The family structures are different. The gender relations are different. And the informal social control, which all play a part in affecting the relationship that the police have with the minorities. Some minorities act according to their own cultural norms and consistently, which may consequently oppose them to being accused of committing a crime because it's a part of their culture, but it's also a crime according to the state and federal laws. Political disagreements between Arabs also have negatively affected the Arab minority's perception of the police, and the Arab society is still largely governed by their traditional social structures, and it hasn't gone through radical urbanization. And another part which has a big role in the way that Arabs and Muslims are treated in America is due to Islamophobia, which is just a fear or prejudice against Muslims or those with Islamic background. Some acts that are part of the culture which would be considered a crime would be bigamy, family honor murder, spousal and child abuse, parent-child suicide, blood revenge, celebratory shooting. Those would be considered a crime, but certain cultures do believe in that, as well as if the first child born is not a male, that daughter would be killed because she's not a man. And that is the one who's supposed to carry on the family's name. And some studies have also claimed that the police generally represent and act in accordance with the culture of the dominant group. So if we don't have people in the police departments who are of these different backgrounds and cultures, then they wouldn't understand that that's just a part of their culture, and they wouldn't be able to have an understanding or some type of common ground with these people to see where it is that they stand for, or to even try to understand, to communicate what it is that they're trying to do. It may not be something that they are deliberately doing on purpose. It's just their belief. And without having someone with the same belief, it's difficult for someone to understand. Research also shows us consistently that minorities are more likely than whites to view law enforcement with suspicion and distrust. And this is based upon interactions with law enforcement, the reason why they believe that the police lack lawfulness and legitimacy. Minority groups' primary complaint is that they are simultaneously over-policed as suspects and under-policed as victims, which has played a tremendous role in the confidence and their willingness to collaborate with the police. So, for example, if a police officer sees a Hispanic or a black male trying to get, maybe looking under a rug or a mat or a flower pot of a front door in a suburban area, they may assume that this person is trying to break in, or is, instead of, okay, well, maybe perhaps he lives there and he's looking for his spare key to try and get in, which is what they mean by them being over policed as suspects and under policed as victims. And it's also been studied and proved that blacks are 10 times more likely to be arrested than any other race. And a major part of that is because of the drugs, the war on drugs. Police are targeting individuals looking for drugs, not specifically because they're committing a crime or because they have committed a crime, and which pretext traffic stops play a major role in. They will stop this individual because of a tag light that's out or a broken headlight or something of the sort, for that to be the supposed primary reason of the traffic stop, when in reality the primary reason is they suspect that they may have drugs in the vehicle. But they can't just pull them over for simply suspicion. They have to have a reason. So without having a solid reason, they use these pretext traffic stops as a way to try to fight this war on drugs. The over-policing in a suspect and not being victims has also alienated the relationship between police and the minority community, which strongly discourages police officers from enforcing criminal laws, and it dissuades minorities from collaborating with the police to prevent and report crimes. And many people who live in poverty or in the bad neighborhoods, they don't want to report crimes because they are in fear of retaliation from those in the community, and they don't feel as if they would have enough of protection from the local police departments if they were to help them out with catching these criminals. So they feel as if, why would I put myself and my family's lives in jeopardy to help them out when no one is going to try to help us out to make sure that we survive? The citizens and immigrant minorities, they also come into contact with police in different circumstances other than being suspects or victims. They're also witnesses to crimes. A positive relationship is crucial not only for the community but for effective police performance. To help bridge this gap between minorities and law enforcement, certain agencies across the country have started hiring more female officers and more minorities. And they have also even started training citizens in communications, crisis prevention teams, fear training, and giving officers an incentive to live in the communities that they protect. Through these efforts that the community and the law enforcement together have came up with, then these efforts will create a stronger bond between law enforcement and the minorities and communities that they protect.